It's really funny, actually.
Any additions, corrections, deletions?
I printed that one. It was good.
I will second that. It's been moved and seconded. Further discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. County attorney isn't quite here yet. Why don't we go to Brian, because he's a busy man. We can't keep him.
Yep. Costs too much money. So we have the partial payment certificate number 1. This is for the industrial pretreatment facility out at Mallon. It's written for the amount of $270,503.04 to the construction company. I guess the biggest thing is if you flip back 3 pages, the spreadsheet. In that 3rd column, you have work completed this application, work in place. And this is what the contractor is submitting, what they have done so far. That 1st division is essentially mobilization. The 3,000 division is concrete, and we are seeing concrete out there. And if you flip back 2 more pages, it's going to be 11,000. Equipment, you'll see a big one there, and that essentially is for that anaerobic process. They're putting a down payment on it, and that's a hefty one. Out in the field, things are going good. We're getting concrete out there. The wastewater treatment plant is moving along. Hopefully we'll see concrete later this week, maybe early next week. We are having a meeting out there tomorrow at 10:30, so you guys are more than welcome to come if you'd like. And that's really about all I have with this.
I'd make a motion to approve the pay request of $270,503.04 to Ankle Construction.
I will second that. It's been moved and seconded. Further discussion. Hearing none. Vote for it.
Aye.
Well, motion carried.
Thank you.
That meeting is 10 o'clock.
10:30 at
10:30.
the wastewater treatment plant. Thanks, guys.
Okay, good morning, County Attorney Watt.
Good morning.
You're up.
General discussion. I've got a check here for Lowell for $5,831.43. There's going to be more coming. Just to explain, in Crooks, we had to pay the expert witness fees. And then there's a provision in the Iowa Code that says we can get reimbursed for those. And so I filed my application. When I filed it with the court said, what are you talking about? Because the court wasn't aware that you could do that. They said, we weren't aware that you could. No, and nobody was aware that you could do that. So what it's going to amount to, I've got reimbursed on 3 of the 4 now. It's going to be, I suppose, right around $18,000 to $20,000 we're going to get reimbursed for. So
Good job.
So I am doing something, and then of course trying to deal with the state to try and get reimbursed for something. So, then with regard to this this property tax statement that I had sent over to Pat Rourke, he says that isn't their property, he said he doesn't know what this is, but it's not the property we sold to Tim Schultz. He thinks it's a property that we bought for Mitchell County or from St. Ansgar Economic Development.
Well, then they should pay it.
No, we bought it from them, it's our property. We bought it.
Yeah, but when did we buy it?
Those taxes are all prorated.
Right.
It's our bill.
So, okay, I just thought maybe it was in arrears if it was there.
No, it's, when you close, you always prorate taxes.
Yeah. So did we get the money for
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yes, we did. It came off of the price.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an adjustment.
All right.
Yep, that's ours.
The engineer.
So where does the 18,000 to 20,000 come for this reimbursement from?
From the state of Iowa.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. It comes from, actually, clerk of court. Other cases.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other cases we can do this with?
Anytime you have expert witness fees, we had 2 experts in juvenile court, we had 2 experts at trial, and we've gotten reimbursed for 3 out of the 4 now, and the 4th one they said is coming, so. that's all I have on that. The other one is the possible cement canoe accident in Cedar River. I brought that up a couple of years ago about using some of the hotel tax money to put in a canoe access. And Milt was gonna look into it, and Milt got busy, and now Adam's gonna have a flooding situation this year. If you want me to, I'd be glad to talk to some guys, and now would be the time to do it, if ever, as low as the river is. You know, down at number 9, try and put one in, and then see what the response is from people.
We visited a little bit with Adam on that, and he wondered if we couldn't rework what is there. I mean, basically doing a sand, I don't know if that would be adequate, or...
He would know more than I would on that, but I would think it's got, like everything else, when you get high water, it's all gonna be gone.
But then there was the other area just a little north that, you know, dealing again with that access.
Mhm.
And basically, they were thinking, wasn't it there that a cement one would, because people would bring it in their, John boats or whatever.
Bigger.
I wouldn't have a problem where, I would just like to put one in water, see how it works, see if people like it, if it's worth spending the money on or not. And I know it's kind of got forgotten with everything else, and I just wanted to bring it back to your attention and see if we could. So if Adam's working on it, that's fine.
It's kind of the way he indicated that
Okay.
they were gonna look at all this.
I'll talk to Adam.
Yeah, talk to
Yeah.
him.
He's gone today, I believe. 'Cause,
Yeah, otherwise he was gonna show up, he said, but,
Okay. That's all I have.
yeah, we got a little money left in the hotel motel tax. Should've stopped by and had one.
Doesn't come in too great here in the summertime,
No.
because I think they have a lot of over 30-day residents there, so that always cuts in tires.
Yep.
I don't have anything.
No, I don't either. It's-
Okay.
Okay, thank you kindly.
I bet.
Okay, that takes care of that. Item 7, sheriff report for August.
Almost.
Okay, say that.
And you said we have 3 visitors today. huh?
Only 3 this morning, yes.
What were they basically?
OWI from overnight and one on a burglary, the other one drug charges. Most of the lightning damage has been repaired, and I think there's one piece of equipment yet that they sent that wasn't right. So once that's done, then that should be completed. Other than that, I don't have too much. Another item here when we get to that point.
Motion to approve the sheriff's report.
And I will second that. Further discussion? Hearing none, vote please.
Aye.
Walk, aye, motion carried. And federal forfeiture report.
Yeah, what this is they require us to report annually what our balance is in our federal asset forfeiture account. It's an equitable sharing agreement. If we don't participate and would happen to be involved in an investigation where there's monies or property available that can be shared through the federal government, then we're not entitled to any of that. So this is an agreement and certification that's probably been going since the early 90s. And then each year they ask that the chair sign off on it.
Make motion to allow the chair to sign the federal forfeiture report.
And I will second that.
We get a cut, right?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
A lot of that.
Well, it's worth asking.
Yeah, no, it's good. is. You might as well be entitled to some too, if everybody else is.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a little over 5,700, I think, that we're sitting on now.
Very good. Further discussion? Hearing none, Bookman.
Aye.
Walk, aye, motion carried.
Good, thank you. I don't have anything else unless anybody here has something for me.
No, I don't
No, it's good, it's quiet again.
I have Jeff in court this morning, and so.
What did he do wrong?
It's the lineup that he has to be there for. So I'm gonna leave this
Lineup?
morning.
You guys do lineups?
Yeah, come on down and I'll show you about 30 faces.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a busy day, so he's down there doing
I was
court
gonna
security.
ask that question. Good thing you brought that up.
So I'm gonna go, I guess.
Okay,
unless you
sure.
guys have
Yeah,
something.
if you ever need Stan and I for the lineup sometime, we'll help you
I
out.
already got your pictures.
Oh, you don't use real people
Oh, no, can't do that.
on TV?
All right, thank you.
You bet. Okay, item 9, approve the minutes.
I got the minutes, I make a motion to approve.
And I read them, I see no problem with it, second it. Further discussion. Hearing none, Bookman.
Aye.
Walk, aye, motion carried. Let's combine items 10, 11, and 12 into one motion.
Well, I actually need 3 motions, please,
Why is that?
because they're 3 separate things, so that's why I listed it on there.
It's fine. I'd make a motion to approve 10, 11, and
Okay.
12. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll record it as 3 separate motions.
No, yes, that's fine. I mean, we can do it in 3. I'd make
That's fine.
number 10, $567 to the land acquisition and capital improvement plan. I'd make a motion to approve that one.
Second, further discussion. Oaklander,
Aye.
Walk, aye, motion carried. Item 11,
I would make a motion to approve placing $79.25 in the land acquisition and capital improvement fund.
second, further discussion. Oaklander.
Aye.
Walk, aye, motion carried. Item 12,
I'd make a motion to approve placing $46.25 in the land acquisition and capital improvement fund.
second, further discussion. Oaklander.
Aye.
Walk, aye, motion carried.
Yeah, they were separate, different dates.
Oh, okay, well, that's probably, we should.
Well, that's fine.
We'll be correct.
That's fine.
Yeah, because, yeah, conservation needs to bring have these forms with the money.
Well, the problem is, Lowell, I stop up there to the can redemption thing. He's giving me cash. I don't want cash. On Mondays, they're not even open out there. I bring it, they said, bring it into the treasurer, so,
Well, Claudia still needs to get this form to us. It's through their board, and Adam has to sign it.
well, but
That's the procedure.
I don't wanna have, I
Yeah.
don't want the money in my truck and that.
No.
It's cans for conservation and,
But it was 3 different times, so that's why 3 motions.
and they owe us between $600 and $800 yet. So, I mean, it's really been a good thing for land acquisition.
There we go, about a half acre bought already,
It's,
over 10 years. No,
no,
it is,
last Saturday again, it took me 2 hours to sort that crap, and
Oh, yeah.
we don't have as much glass, we busted glass in there,
take all mine and just put them in there, and it's a good deal.
so. It is 8:45, we have a public hearing to consider Osage River City Egg construction permit application. I will open up the public hearing. County Auditor Tesh, did you have any comments, written or oral?
No comments.
Supervisor Voklander, did you have any comments, written or oral?
No, I didn't.
I had no comments written or oral. Does the public want to comment on the River City egg construction permit?
I just have a question. This is like an egg wash water?
Yep.
So what happens to it after the tank fills up, then what happens to the wash water?
Like it gets spread on farmer fields, same as regular manure or
But it's basically just water.
it's liquid.
Okay. Does that need a manure management plan or not?
It's already under.
It's already in it, okay.
Any other discussion? If not, we'll close the public hearing at 8:47. Action on the River City egg construction permit.
I make a motion to approve the River City egg construction permit application and waive the 14-day waiting period.
I will second that. Further discussion? Hearing none, Hoaglander.
Aye.
Walk, aye, motion carried. Very good.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
You bet.
Yep.
Okay, Mark.
Item 13, approve authorizing the Mitchell County Courts to sign contract with the Cedar River Complex to hold court there in 2014.
Yeah, it's just a continuation of their contract. We need it for calendar year 14, and the rates and everything are gonna stay the same. So I told Scott, I put it on the agenda, and I'd make a motion to allow the courts to sign the contract with Cedar River Complex to hold court there in 2014.
And that is something we have to provide,
Right.
so I will second that. Further discussion?
Can I ask a question on that? Have they set the dates? Because I know last time you signed that, so
There's dates, but I don't know.
you don't know how many dates, so you don't know actually how much the cost will be for that then?
The same as last year, I guess. I don't know if they had the same number of dates that they used.
Okay.
That's what my understanding was.
Right, I just wonder if they determined how many dates, possible dates, because last time it was up to so many, but they may not use all of them.
Wasn't it 7 last year?
I don't remember, I'd have to look, that's why I'm asking if they had determined how many
I
dates
didn't
those
see
were
that
gonna
part
be.
of it. All you just
Okay.
emailed and wanted to know if we would approve them
Okay,
signing.
that's what I was just wondering, what would be the potential cost? I guess I can contact him and see. I didn't know if the contract stated that or not. Okay.
I think last year did.
It was 6, 7, 8, I think, something like that. It wasn't a lot, but I don't remember right off the top of my head. I just wondered if it
But
was
then
in
if
that
they
one.
cancel, they still have to give them a cancellation fee, but,
Mhm. Okay.
so they don't have too many dates set aside, I don't believe.
Right, so they don't have to be paying a lot of cancellation fees if they don't need the
Right.
room. Yeah, okay.
Further discussion? Hearing none, Hoaglander.
Aye.
Well, okay, motion carried. Approve resolution setting the date for an election on a question of entering into a loan agreement and issuing general obligation bonds for the purpose of demolishing the existing county courthouse facility and constructing, furnishing, and equipping a new county courthouse.
Okay.
We have Resolution 89013.
Okay. At 9 o'clock or what?
Pardon?
No,
What do we want?
it's November 5th, the next board.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
got from John Daniels. He prepared these late last week.
Okay, I make a motion to approve resolution 89013.
Second. Resolution 89013 basically sets November 5th for a date for an election. Basically, it allows the issuing of bonds, general obligation bonds, not to exceed $7,200,000 to finance the cost of the project. The project is demolishing the old courthouse and building a new courthouse in its place. And this shall be on the ballot. It says, further discussion. Oaklander.
Aye.
Walk. Aye. Motion carried. Items to note, meetings attended.
Had a Board of Health meeting the other day, and I guess they said it was a fairly short meeting, it was only 45 minutes. We went over their ending fund balances, and then we talked somewhat about they're having, I wouldn't say problems, but there's just not a lot of folks that want to be county nurses, I guess. And Lamont did talk a little bit about it. I says, well, would you rather have a nurse directly out of nursing school, or do you want, or is one that's been a nurse for a while and then come into the field? And she says it's both ways. I mean, there's advantages to having one right out of nursing school and one that maybe better than that. But she says what the difference between what they do and what other nurses, I mean, like in a hospital setting, she says you probably, if you're a county nurse, you probably don't have the equipment and the materials that you need, you know, always. She says sometimes you use paper towels and toilet paper, you know. I mean, she says it's just a different world, but it's, you know, it's one that we need, and I would surely hope somebody in the future would come forward to help them out, because they are short-handed, and some of them have quite a bit of longevity, so. Anyway, that was basically my meeting last week. It was pretty interesting, I guess.
And I had county conservation, and basically, again, they got things settled on that property right to the east of them there with Bob Butler. They've come up with a gentleman's agreement on that. They haven't been hearing anything on Spring Park, so we're not, I have really no idea if anything's gonna happen or not. It doesn't, I mean, it's not a priority one, it's obviously of this Sunday is their tour of the area again, and I wouldn't mind necessarily catching up to them on Sunday down at their property right on the county line, and again, water's really low, it's a good time to cross over. And the other meetings, I had a few other meetings again on one of the projects, so that's been keeping me very busy.
So we're also hosting the cross-country.
I'm sorry.
The conservation is hosting cross-country tonight. And they're doing the conference in October too, so
Okay,
that's a big deal.
thank you. County engineer, Mr. Brum.
Good morning.
You're looking good today, sir.
Thanks. We'll be brief, I guess, everything's kind of a repeat. Ralph Layden, we sent out quotes for doing some HMA patching, and we told you guys last week, we got those bridge approaches and stuff. Federal Highway says we can put a temporary surface in, still call it emergency repairs, and then come back out next spring and remove it and put in our bridge approaches, a permanent one, so. And I think I also did inform you too, that when we do these other concrete patches, we try to get that Primrose Avenue patched up a little bit. Broken record, FEMA, FHW paperwork. Claudia's busy going through tickets. I'm extremely busy going through tickets because I need to break everything out for FHWA. So I mean, I sound like a broken record, and I've been saying it for weeks, but it takes a long time to sit in there and just flip through tickets and verify where it goes, and then you get a phone call and start over.
Don't you have people that can do that for you?
Ooh. Claudia's going through the tickets as they come in. I'm doing them. Jim's out on
Yeah, I
Hickory Avenue. The bridge is out, actually. They took the bridge out yesterday. The box culvert sections are supposed to be starting to be delivered tomorrow. I don't think they're gonna actually place them yet, but they've still gotta fill in where there's a big scour hole underneath that bridge that, needs to be kind of filled in to reestablish the flow line, but I would assume, and without talking to the contractor, I talked to him yesterday, but I think that I would think they would start laying sections this week, but I guess I can't be positive. They got a lot of excavating to do, but the bridge is out, so that thing is progressing. So I would expect it won't take them long to finish that project. But
What, 2 weeks?
I want to say that, but the minute you say 2
Yeah.
weeks, it's 3, and then somebody says you said 2
Well,
weeks.
that's the one bridge, you won't believe how many phone calls I get on that thing.
Well, when it's done, you probably should have the phone calls shut off, because, I mean, there won't be any restrictions on that stretch through there now.
But,
Yeah, I'm
and
sure
I don't
it'll
know
be
why
nice.
people can't understand and be patient. I mean, you explain the same thing to them
Well,
20 times
You
and,
consider how long everything's been closed since the flood, and all the documentation and paperwork that's required. I mean,
Well, there's still things that won't even be open this winter, is there?
it depends on when FEMA says I can go ahead and put bridges back in.
Yeah, but you won't do it in the winter time, will you?
I will if I have to. I mean, if we do it, I mean, I'm expecting that they're gonna say, go ahead and do it, and I'll get them done just as soon as we can, and it'll be before.
We get all the pipes?
I've got a guy, I told the supplier, I said, I want these pipes, I'm just waiting. I don't know if I should pull the trigger and order them. I don't wanna handle them twice, but,
well, I think you ought to,
because if they say I can't do it the way I wanna do it, then I'm sitting on 6 pipe.
Well,
But
but we're
that's
gonna
not
use
saying I won't use them somewhere else.
Yeah, we'll use them somewhere.
Well,
Just have them deliver them, drop them in the ditch,
well,
right by where you're gonna need them. And put a bunch of brush around them so nobody can tell what they are.
and they got an obstacle in the right of way, and then somebody's gonna say, you got an obstacle in the right of way.
We
I'm
can't
really
worry-
tempted.
We can't worry about all that.
Well, it's a lot of money. I mean,
No, I understand that part, but I mean,
I,
can't worry about an obstacle.
no, I'm just joking there. But, I mean, I don't wanna handle them twice, but I mean, if I have to, I have to. The issue I'm having is I could use 10 pipe.
Yeah, you know,
That's $100,000. Do I want $100,000 of pipe inventory sitting around if I can't use it? I mean, I'm sure eventually I'll be able to use it,
Well,
but,
we have these emergencies all, I mean, it seems like they come
how
up
many
just
pipes have we bought in
continually.
the last 5 years?
well, I know. I mean, it's,
20?
yeah, I mean,
You're too cautious, I'm not trying to
Well,
be unkind.
I know, but there's a lot of money sitting there
I
too that I could
understand
use
that, but-
somewhere else.
I understand
All
that,
right,
but
well, I might pull the trigger then. If you guys are okay with it, I'll pull the trigger.
I
and
am, because we're gonna need them.
All right.
We just know it, you know.
because like you say, if you come here, 4 weeks later and all of a sudden then they're not available, then what do you do?
Well, that's right. I mean, I'm getting a new inventory from the individual anyway, so I'll see what he's got there. I mean, I've told him, I said I could use all what you got plus more, so I think he called me yesterday, and I think they were cutting up more. So he was gonna give me the price list and inventory.
So it's taxes in there, so we probably just abate those then.
That's what I have for you this morning. I know we've got some brush issues and things like that, so.
It's only $54 for the year. Just do the paperwork for that then.
Yep.
Anything to add? You got the email I got about the brush on?
Yeah, I did, I got that. I'm sure.
I recall last time we had the sheriff's deputy out there with us.
Oh, it's one of those deals.
But I haven't gone up there and tried it to see how bad of a visibility problem it is. It's around the curve, and the inside of the curve's got brush along the fence line. I don't think it's in the right of way, but it's in the fence line. I don't know,
I was gonna ask you about it, but you go look at it.
you can, but common sense tells me if you're gonna go around the curve, you'd be cautious of oncoming traffic whether you see it or not. I mean,
Yeah.
we can't be cutting right away for a half mile visibility around the curve. But I don't know the exact location. I think that's the location, is there's a curve in there. And there's a bunch of brush on the inside of the curve. The landowner owns at the curve, so anything, and they're very protective of the trees. But they might be starting to grow back up, maybe we go in there, and I don't know if, the brush cutter's supposed to be getting put back together here. We had the transmission wouldn't go into high gear, and it was a sensor inside, and it was a little electronic thing we had to split the tractor to get to. So we had to take everything apart, and we actually took the cutter off, sent it to Olson, we split it, put the sensor back in, and we just gotta put it back together. So that takes care of it. We got a mold behind the guard, and stuff.
Is there quite a bit of growth up there?
There's plenty, and I've been, hindsight, we probably should have been spraying Roundup around it and killed it off. But if you mow it down, at least it doesn't still have the dead stand with the winter. So we're just plugging away. We've got our plans, our check plans for the Walnut Avenue are due beginning of October, so we're working on those check plans for that overlay. We have plenty to do.
And we gotta start meeting one of these days with secondary roads. Union contract.
Is that this fall, really?
Time goes by fast when you're having fun.
Yeah. Sure does. Okay, well, I don't know if, you guys have contracted with Renee again, does she set that meeting time up, or do we?
Well, sounds like between her and Sparrow, isn't it?
Yeah. We kinda fall in.
Whenever they get.
And I would just as soon try to do a multi-purpose, more than 1 year.
You could.
I mean, seems to work a little better, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that we would be done finding little things here and there in the contract that cause some minor disputes, but we seem to find one or two minor things, and it's all interpretation.
Probably don't have enough to do.
Uh-huh.
Probably don't have enough to do, they can sit around and read the contract every day.
Well, there's basically one individual that looks for all of that stuff.
And they need that representation, I won't fault that, but sometimes I feel like, I think people feel it's petty sometimes.
Well, I mean, it's the same old argument we've had for years. They want to nitpick a couple of things in the contract, and yet again, when it comes time that they want something special because maybe 4 of them went off this spring when we really shouldn't have anybody off, but they got some, I mean, the bowling tournament, for instance. I mean, it's, you missed the date, you missed it.
Yeah.
And so, we try to work with them on those type of things, and yet again, they don't seem like they want to work with us when it comes time to, that we need a little extra here or there, and I mean, that just gripes me that,
Well,
and I realize it's a personal thing, but I mean, I think we've gone over backwards to try to work with them. I don't know, what's your feeling, Joe?
Yeah, we don't deny them anything.
we don't, I mean, vacations I don't think we've had any issues where anybody wanted to take vacation and we said no. I mean,
Right.
even though it shorts us quite a bit.
You don't want anybody mad behind the wheel.
Well, that, but if they don't use it, they don't want to lose it either. I mean,
Right.
It's just one of those things where they almost have to use it.
Well, most of the vacation's taken in the summertime anyway, isn't it?
Right, but then they still, you still want to run a rock run. Right, everybody's going, how do you do that efficiently?
Well, I
Well,
always-
we're looking at, I'm hoping it's done by the end of this week, I can't guarantee there won't be some spots left by next week, but, you know, that's where, and we have hired trucks to haul with us, we did hire folks to run with us to keep the loader and everything else efficient. If we had less than 4 of our trucks running, we'd hire more. In fact, I think we had 4 of ours running plus hired 2 others, because, number one, they can haul a bigger load with their trucks. They were pulling dumps and pups, and then they actually threw some belly dumps on the semis, so they're hauling twice as much as we could for the long hauls, which really helps us out. Because we, you know, when you only own 12 or 13 tons and they can haul 25, and it roughly uses the same amount of fuel to haul. We get twice the same fuel.
Well, Jim always said it was cheaper to contract a rock one than it was to do it ourselves, so.
Yeah. And I think now after this year, we probably have plenty to do next spring and summer to keep the guys busy without running rock.
Well, again, can't we start that earlier? Because I mean,
Yeah,
here,
right, I mean, the flood set me back this year, I mean, we were still
Yeah, I
fixing
understand,
stuff.
yeah.
But I think we started mid-June, hey, here's what happened, I mean, we started mid-June and we hired out, it's done in 2 or 3 weeks versus 2 or 3 months. And think of the efficiency of it, I mean, we may have to run a blade guy, we did this year too, when we had them run the northeast corner, we ran our blade guy till 4:30 when the quarry closed, so they could get their last load out. So we paid a little bit of overtime, but they got it run faster too.
how are we looking for this winter? Salt filled in and,
Yeah, we've got everything, I think we've got everything, I know we ordered it, no, we don't have it delivered yet. I don't think we have it delivered. The painters are in, they're gonna start, I think, next week on the striping, so that'll take care of that. So, the materials are in, they showed up yesterday, so the crew comes in shortly after. Salt is ordered, I don't think, we haven't taken delivery on it, we got last year's delivery this spring, so we're half full in the shed yet. And we'll probably take delivery, some of it in the fall yet. I think we'll be setting good on salt.
we still planning on having the design ready for this next spring on the shed?
Planning, yeah. I know it's on my checklist of things to do. And it's budgeted,
How big do you want it?
so. Huh?
How big do you want it?
I don't remember what the dimensions are. I think it's 4 stalls with a long saw on the back. So you can back something long in there, you drop a trailer out or something. But give you some room to wash down or just, some of our shops are so tight, we don't have any elbow room. And you make it big and it's still gonna be too small. I've been gathering data from other counties that have put buildings up, so I'm getting a good idea of what it costs. Some of them make it really easy to bid. I mean, their specs are 2 or 3 pages long with a drawing. Here, so easier sometimes. That's where we're at.
Okay. Anything else for the engineer?
When's the first snow coming?
February.
Okay.
I hate to say it, I don't want a snowmobile, but I hope it doesn't show up.
Wow,
Well, I'd rather
Farmers
have that
Almanac-
than freezing rain, though.
Right.
Farmers Almanac says colder and snowier. If you can believe that.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Item 15B, manure management plan update.
And that one from Jonas, B. Reed, section 15, number 03. Peter Note, section 14, number 0. Peter Z. Note, section 15, number 0. We have Rundy Ford Finisher Farm, section 36 in Wayne, and the Heman East Finisher Farm in section 6 of Jamestown, Powell County.
So noted. Anybody else have anything for the good of the cause? I think I covered everything, jumping all around. If not, we will stand adjourned here at 10 after 9. We have a 10 o'clock meeting with the architects.